Hey guys, Greg here, and let's solve Koko eating bananas, Leetcode number 875. It's a very interesting problem that showed me something about binary search I really wasn't expecting, so make sure you do this question. Now, Koko loves to eat bananas. Not sure why they're not telling you, but Koko is indeed a monkey. So there are n piles of bananas, and the ith pile has, well, of course, piles of I bananas. The guards have gone, and they will come back in h hours. Now, Koko can decide her bananas per hour eating speed of k. And by decide, it's actually going to be the thing that we return here. So it's not a parameter of the question, it is actually the thing that we're going to return. And we'll talk about that shortly. Koko can decide her bananas per hour eating speed of k. So each hour, she's going to choose some pile of bananas, and she's going to eat k bananas from that pile. Okay, so just think of this as like an interval thing. Every hour, she's going to pick a pile and she's going to eat k bananas from that pile. So if the pile has less than k bananas, she's going to eat all of them, and she will not eat any more bananas during this hour. So suppose that she could eat 5 bananas per hour and she decided to finish off a pile of 3 bananas. So technically she would have this capacity to eat 2 more, but she's not going to do that. She only eats from 1 pile. So in 1 hour, she's only ever going to pick 1 pile. Now here's the thing. Koko likes to eat slowly, but she still wants to finish all of the bananas before the guards return. So we want to return the minimum integer k, such that she can eat all the bananas within the h hours. Our job is to determine k, how many bananas she can eat per hour, such that it is the smallest number so that she can eat all the bananas within the h hours. Okay, so say we had our piles where the first pile had 3, then 6, then 7, then 11, and we had 8 hours to eat all the bananas. So it doesn't really matter which pile you eat from at any hour, because when you eat from one pile, you're only ever going to eat that pile. You're not going to affect any of the other piles. So let's just pretend that you finish off the left pile before you finish off this one, and then we're going to eat from left to right, basically. So we're looking for the smallest integer k, such that in 8 hours, we can eat all of these piles. Well, let's try the smallest number 1. Does that work? Does 1 banana per hour work? Well, if that's true, well, say we eat from left to right here, we'd spend 1 hour to get this down to 2, and so we'd then have 7 hours. We get it down to 1, we'd have 6, we'd get it down to 0, and we'd have 5 hours left. We'd go over here and we'd say, okay, get it down to 5, we have 4 hours left, 4, get it down to 3, 3, get it down to 2, we would have 2 and 1. We would have 1 banana left here with 0 hours. Here we've used up the 8 hours that we have, but we still have bananas left, so this didn't work. K equals 1 didn't work. We clearly have to eat more than 1 banana per hour. Now let's try 2. Does 2 bananas per hour work? Now before we do that, I want to show you a faster way than just subtracting 2 here every time. So let's take this pile for example. If we had 6 bananas in the pile and you divide by your eating speed of k, well that's just 6 over 2, which is equal to 3. That's going to imply that it takes 3 hours to get this pile down to 0. But what if we had an odd number here? So if we took 7 and then we did our division by 2, well that's actually going to give you 3.5 here. And that 0.5 there is saying that, okay, we need 3 full hours and then we need like a little bit more. But it doesn't actually matter how much more that we need. Since we need anything more than 3 here, it actually means that we need 4 hours. Because again, Koko, she's just going to finish off all the bananas in a pile. If there is, say, 1 banana left in a pile and she could eat 2 bananas, well, she's still going to take a full hour to eat that extra banana. So if you ever have a decimal number with the division, you just round up, and so you round up to get 4. It's going to take 4 hours to eat these 7 bananas. So in the future, you just take your piles at I, and then you do the division of that with k, and you actually round up like that. I'm just going to write it like this. So you take your division and you round up. If that value is already 3.0 rounded up, that's actually going to stay at 3. Okay, that doesn't round up to the next number. It took exactly 3. That's how you take a certain pile and say how many hours it's going to take to finish off that pile. So with that being true, let's see if 2 actually works here. Well, we do 3 over 2, we get 1.5, round up, so that's going to take 2 hours there. That gets us down to 6 hours left. With 6, that's going to take 3 hours. That gets us down to 3 hours left. With 7, that's actually going to take 4. And so, well, we only had 3 hours, so 2 doesn't work as well. That value is not going to work either. Okay, so let's try one bigger value of 3. This is going to just take 1 hour, so that gets 7 hours left. Here, this is going to take 2, getting us down to 5 hours. For 7, that's actually going to take 3 trips, so that's going to get us down to 2 hours left. We need a bigger value than 3. Let's see if the value of 4 works. Okay, so here we can actually finish off that in 1 trip. So that gets 7 hours left. With 2, that's going to take 2. So we have 5 hours left. With 7, that actually only takes 2 now. So that gets this down to 3 hours. And so with 11, we actually can finish that in our 3 hours. And that gets us down to 0, but our banana piles would all be complete. So 4 is the smallest value of k, such that we could finish all of the bananas in those 8 hours. Now, what did we actually do here? Well, we started at the smallest value of 1. Now, this makes sense because, of course, 0 is not going to work, and we're eating in integer amounts. So 1 is the smallest amount that is possible for sure. What is the biggest amount? Biggest amount of k is certainly, you could go up to infinity, meaning say you eat like 1,000,000 bananas per hour, but that's not really necessary because, in fact, we only really need the maximum in this case of 11 because any value bigger than 11 is still equivalent to 11. If you have your k equal to the max of any value of the piles, well, that means that you can eat any of the piles in 1 hour. And so all of these things, they're all going to take 1 hour here. If you had an eating speed of 11 or 12 or 15 or 1,000,000, they're all going to do exactly the same thing. So the biggest value that we could have for k, the max of the piles. So I'll just write that the max of p. Okay, so all I've left here is that k is somewhere in the range of 1 to the max of the piles inclusive. The order that we checked this is, since we're looking for the minimum, well, we started at the lowest possible value, and we said, okay, well, the lowest is 1. Let's try 1. Then we could try 2, then 3, up until we found it, and the biggest value that it could possibly be is the max of the piles, which in this case is 11. Except there's no reason to do that. You can do a binary search because you are looking for a certain constraint given a range of values. Now notice that I said a certain constraint. Constraint is that basically k-test returns true. So that would mean if you're trying a value of k, if that returns true, that value of k works, well then that is a yes signal. Whereas if this returned false, that value of k didn't work, well that is a no. That is the other way you can use binary search, is based off of a constraint, this yes or no, versus just looking for a target. Your value either works or it doesn't. Now I think this piece is explained a lot better in code, so let's just jump to that. So firstly, let's just write a function called kworks, which takes a k. And it says, hey, if you are eating at this banana per hour eating speed of k, can you finish all of the bananas in the h hours? So let's say that we've spent 0 hours so far, and then we're going to say for p in the piles, we're going to say that hours is going to go up by the ceiling, that's your rounding up, of p divided by k. So it's your pile divided by your banana per hour eating speed, and then you round up. That's how many hours it took for that particular pile. We do that for all the piles, and this is the amount of hours it would take for that eating speed. Okay, and then all you'd want to do is just return that the hours is less than or equal to h. So if you have h hours and you took anything less than or equal to that amount of hours, then that works. So that should return true. But if hours is strictly bigger than the amount that you had available, then you should return false. And that's what it does. And by the way, there's probably a slight optimization here if you wanted to break early, but I'm not going to bother doing that, and it's not really going to change the complexity. Okay, so that's our function to check if it works. Now, firstly, I want to write the unoptimized version. So just starting at 1 and going up, and we'll optimize that in a second. So let's just start L as the smallest amount possible, which is 1. That's the smallest k possible. Our upper range is the max of any of the piles. For k in the range of, we'll go to 1 inclusive, and then we actually need to go to r plus 1 because that's exclusive. That goes from 1 until r inclusive. Now, if that k works, as in if that is actually a valid value for k, well then we found it, and we're going in order. We're starting at the smallest value going up, so that must be the smallest value that worked, and so we could just immediately return k. At some point that must actually be true because we're going up until the max of the piles, and so this will work. However, if you're to run this, you actually get a time limit exceeded because this is taking too long. The complexity of that is n, so this part gives n, times the max of the piles, because that's what we're going up until, is O of n times the max of the piles. Now let's optimize this part right here. The rest of this is perfectly fine. We just want to implement this as a binary search instead. Now the way to do this would be while L is less than R, and we'll talk about why it's not equal to in a second, while L is strictly less than R, we'd get K is our middle value. So we'll get the middle value is L plus R over 2 integer division. And then we can say, hey, if that K works on K, well then we found a value. However, we don't want to return that value because we're not searching in order here. This just happens to be the middle for now. And we want to kind of close it in on the best value. If that K works, we want to set R equal to K. We want to make sure that we don't lose this value of K. We don't want to go to the point where we lost a working value. We'll set the right end of our range to be K because we know that this works. Now, otherwise, if we actually ran into a scenario where this didn't work, well, then we have no desire to keep this in our range at all. So we'd move L to be equal to K plus 1. We need our bounds to increase, so that's why we set L forward, and we don't just set it to be K because this value didn't work. We don't want K, so we'll set the lower bounds of our problem to be K plus 1. Now, as we get to the end here, we can actually return either L or R. And we'll talk about in a second why that works. We're just going to return R and show that that works. So this works, and so would return R. Those would do the same thing. Now this works because we're closing in on a particular value using binary search, and eventually we'll get to the point where L is equal to R. And when that is the point, well, that is actually when we close, because this is a strict less than. Now let's think about why we chose less than and not less than or equal to. If we chose less than or equal to, well, actually this would never complete, and let me prove that to you. If you try to submit that, that is never going to finish running. You would get a time limit exceeded and it solved 0 of the problems. So that doesn't work at all. You're never going to escape this loop here. All we do is we set either R to be K, so that's not going to move it past L, or we set L to be K plus 1. So if they are equal to each other, well, that means by definition that L is R, and so they are actually both equal to a K that works. If that is true, well, then we're always going to get K is just the same value. We're going to get K works, and we're just going to set R equal to K, which effectively does nothing. So we need to get out of this loop by saying when they are equal to each other, that is when we found the smallest value of K that works, and so you cannot have the equals there. Okay, so let me zoom out so that you can see the entire code here, and let's talk about complexity. So the time complexity here, well, originally it was O of n coming from this, checking if K works, times going through all of the piles. So the original time complexity is O of n times the max of the piles, which we'll write like that, except we can fix this part so that we don't have to go through all of the piles. We just have to go through the log of the max of the piles, okay? It's binary search now. Take the max of the piles and then split it in half every single time. 1,000,000 times faster, like so much faster than it is with just the max piles. Okay, and the space complexity here, well, let's see what we're storing. We're not really storing anything. We just have some variables. We're doing a loop. We are going through and binary searching. That doesn't use any space. So this is luckily a constant space solution. Here's the entire code on one page. I hope that you found this interesting. Drop a like if it was, and have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.